Misa Daniel Ehrenberg, and this is the franchise. Oh, what? Fart noise.
This is Knutson, no giving up. Wasn't they bean days of broken? This is Henry. Oh, Misa no have a booma. This is Henry Papali. Welcome to episode 80. Episode 80.
I'll tell you what. I'd like to take a 180 right out of this building and watch a different movie.
Oh my lord! I'm looking forward to this because
we're talking about Return of the Jedi and the Phantom Menace today. Star Wars. We're still in the midst of Star Wars. I was gonna say month, but it's like 9 weeks of these fucking movies.
Right.
Listen, remember how excited I was last week?
Yeah. Me too.
Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, 2 5-star movies from both of us.
Yes, doesn't happen that much. Yeah.
You know, I'm hearing people ranking their Star Wars movies this week because The Last Jedi came out.
I've been seeing that stuff too.
I will not be seeing The Last Jedi until we cover it for the podcast in a few weeks.
Me neither.
That is my vow. I will be watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated movie, before I see the new Star Wars movie.
Right. We're going to have to off-air also. I don't know the order we're going to do all that bonus shit because we got 3 to cover in a bonus episode.
Do we?
Or 2 bonus episodes. Clone Wars, Rogue One's holiday special. Yeah.
No, those aren't bonus. Rogue One and Clone Wars. We're going to do those are involved in episodes.
Oh, okay. So holiday's the only bonus.
Yeah.
All right, but the next
great on-air conversation.
Yeah, I know. Totally meant to say this to you beforehand. As it says in my notes, tell Dan beforehand.
All right. Listen. So there's people that did not like Last Jedi. And that's fine. Maybe I won't like Last Jedi. But what they're doing is they're reevaluating the prequels when they're trying to rank these things. And the one I see getting the most positive reevaluation is the Phantom Menace. And everyone says the same thing. Yes, it has Jar Jar. Yes, it has, some stupid shit. But the pacing is good. It's got Liam Neeson, Duel of the Fates.
Oh,
they're saying it has a lot of bad stuff, but all the good stuff from the prequels is over there in the Phantom Menace. And here's what I have to say to those people.
Okay, yeah.
Great hot take, you fuckers. What a piece of shit this movie is.
It is awful. Are we just getting right into it, or we got to start with Return?
We got to talk about Return of the Jedi, but I was flabbergasted. Listen, I'm a guy, I was 13 when Phantom Menace came out. First time I saw it, convinced myself I liked it. That's why I say Phantom Menace syndrome sometimes. Then, fucking saw it again, was like, I think this is bad. But I kept watching it. I watched The Phantom Menace a lot as a teenager. I owned it on DVD. If you asked me at the time, I would have said I like it as much as something like The Matrix. But listen, I haven't watched this movie in years because I have been with the same... I was in a 6-year relationship.
Yeah.
And she's a big Star Wars fan, but she's a big Star Wars purist. And so I watched the original trilogy quite a few times while we were together.
Right.
But never once, she would never let me put on the prequels. And I wanted to. I wanted to put on the prequels.
Right.
But I haven't seen them in at least 7 years because it's been about a year since we broke up.
That long? Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, probably for a year before that, we were together. You don't recall me watching these prequels.
No.
So, it's been a while.
I remember you being gentle for Phantom Menace.
I'm gentle to all 3 of them. I have been for years. I think my party line used to be I don't like Attack of the Clones very much.
Right.
But 1 and 3 are are underrated. And here's what I have to tell you right now.
They're
not. Well, I haven't seen 3 yet. We don't know
right,
yet. We don't know
right.
yet. Maybe 2 is underrated. Who knows? But having just watched 1, I'm in a tizzy.
Yeah. Well, let me give you briefly, since we're on it, because we'll come back to it, but I'll tell you my brief Phantom Menace thing. I saw it when just before my 21st birthday. I was 20 at the time. And I hated it at the time. And I got to tell you, that was 18 years ago. I never watched it again. So I figured I would not like it, but I absolutely hated it beyond any proportional representation I thought I would have.
Henry, this movie is impossible to watch.
Yeah, it was nothing compared to what I thought it was. I thought it was a bad movie, and I don't remember hating it this much in the theater. I really don't. I know I didn't like it.
Listen, but part of that might be the time, right? The CGI looked current. Whatever, Yoda was still a puppet, and it was fun to see him. And Liam Neeson, Ewan McGregor, we were probably into him from Trainspotting.
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know, man.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Let's talk about Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I've got 2 words for you about this movie, Henry.
Okay.
Nostalgia buster.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say it. I had that thought. I said last week that this was always. I remember I said that Empire is the best, but this was always like my kind of personal favorite, and I didn't know how that would play out, and I was really hoping that would stay the way it is.
Does it?
No.
Okay. Listen. This is
really
the most.
For me to say, by the way, that hurts me.
I understand that.
I'm not happy with that opinion.
Of course not.
I could easily lie and say nope, still not. No.
I want to sit here and tell people.
But
I want to sit here and tell.
Loved it.
All right. I want to sit here and tell people that the original trilogy is unimpeachable. Go watch those 3 movies. They're classics.
Well.
No.
No. Okay, but I still loved it. It's just what it is for me is Jedi. I guess I now finally kind of see after 30 years what everyone else was saying, except my problems with it are a little bit different, I think, than the main problems that people have with it.
I'm going to try something a little bit different here.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Nothing. It's something people say. I'm excited. I'm excited to cover it, honestly. I have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But this is a week that I'm disappointed. It reminds me of when we watched the Richard Donner Superman.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lethal Weapon.
No,
yeah.
Lethal Weapon, I didn't have this reverence for.
We're
going to talk about our 1983 list soon, and here's Return of the Jedi at number 5.
I have it higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's talk about it. Return of the Jedi. Lucas is back to write. He skipped Empire.
Right.
But he's co-writing with Lawrence Kasdan, and we have a new director, Richard Marquand, who is, let's say, a hired hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Apparently, this film was offered to Davids Lynch and Cronenberg.
The Davids.
Yeah. Would have loved to see what they did with it, but I guess basically Lynch got to do this with Dune a year later or something, and Cronenberg, has he ever done Existenz? I don't know. Maybe I don't even want this type of movie from them. So
I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. Marquand did do one good 80s thriller.
Is it Jagged Edge?
Yeah. That's a good Jeff
I've
Bridges
never
movie.
seen it.
Yeah.
But
it's not great, but it's an excellent Jeff Bridges and Glenn Close.
Script by Casting Couch All-Star Joe Esterhaus.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. All right. This film was released May 25th, 1983. Continuing the every 3 years Star Wars, which we used to have until the current trend of every day and a half Star Wars. A very high budget for 1983 of $42.7 million. A box office of $572.7 million. It is the #1 film of 1983. We'll talk about that in a second. It was nominated for a couple of Oscars. It lost Best Score, Best Sound, and Best Sound Editing, all 3 Oscars, to The Right Stuff.
You know, I have never seen The Right Stuff.
Me neither.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes us marked men.
I know.
Isn't that like a fucking staple of any cinephile? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have a desire to see it either. But
what is it? A space movie?
Yeah, it's like a pre-Apollo 13.
Yeah. It's Apollo 12. It's the prequel.
Right.
Wasn't there an Apollo horror movie at some point?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
It was also nominated for art direction, which it lost to Fanny and Alexander. A very deserving loss there.
Sure. Yeah.
You want to guess the top 10 movies of 1983?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to try because it might have some on my list. Okay. I looked, by the way back. The last time we did 83 was Jaws 3.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, we've done 83 a couple times. Sudden Impact.
Right, that's way back.
Yeah.
Right. I had to alter my list for one of the only times ever because my list was the bottom 3 were just a mess and they've been scribbled out, so I did have to fix it a little bit. Only the bottom 3.
All right.
I never do that. You know,
what is the top 10 high? What are the top 10 highest grossing movies of 1983?
Okay. Trading Places.
Yeah, that's right here at number 4. Very good.
Thank you. Vacation.
I'll tell you what, not in the top 10.
Ooh. Oh, nothing else on my list is going to be in that top 10. So, go ahead.
Number 10.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Risky business.
Risky biz.
Good for you, audiences of 83. All right.
Number 9, it's a hilarious movie about a man doing things that normally a woman might do. What is this?
Oh.
That is wacky.
Is Steve Martin in it?
Nope.
Man is doing things that normally a woman... Oh, wait. No, Tootsie. No. That's not the right year.
No.
I don't know.
Hey, Mr. Mom.
Oh, I always like Mr. Mom.
You enjoy that.
Probably terrible, but I haven't... Yeah, go ahead.
Number 8, sequel to a film from 1977 that was on the top 10. And
help, little help.
It's got music by Frank Stallone.
Staying Alive.
That's right.
That's in the top 10 of 83.
It's a hit.
I just congratulated the viewers of 1983. I'm going to retract that congratulations. Yeah.
All right, number 7 is whatever. It's Sudden Impact. We talked about it already.
Right. Okay.
Now, which one is that?
That's the 4th one.
What's going on in that movie?
That's the very, very.
Is it Tyne Daly?
No.
That's the 3rd one. That's the enforcer.
Right. This is the rape one where the girl...
Oh, God, right.
Yeah,
I did not care for that one. This is the one directed by Clint.
That's right. Yeah. That's Go Ahead Make My Day. That's the one with that line.
Oh, well, that part's good.
Right. There's parts to that movie that are good. I believe I gave it a 3.
I might have. We'll see.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to our Dirty Harry coverage. I'm pretty proud of those episodes.
Yeah, me too.
Number 6, produced by Barbara Broccoli.
Octopussy.
That's right.
Okay.
Number 5, it's a movie starring me, Matthew Broderick. Ugh.
War Games.
That's right. It's my Broderick impression.
I like it. It's totally inaccurate, but it's
No,
great.
it's me now.
That's good.
I have no personality, and sometimes I'm on the Broadway, the Great White Way.
That's kind of like Mike Bloom's Bill Cosby impression.
It's kind of like my Alec Guinness impression.
No, your Alec Guinness impression is good.
No, I'm saying, but my Matthew Broderick sounds like Alec Guinness.
Oh,
I have also an Alec Guinness impression myself now.
Oh, you worked on it. I like it.
I worked on it a little.
It
a
is
little bit.
weird. It is weird. Of the two of us, you're far better impressionist. But I do way more impressions on the show.
It's very funny. I don't think our viewers know that, but you are. Well, you're a very good impressionist. I haven't done like a single impression in all 80 episodes.
That's very weird.
I don't know if it's what it is, but we'll see, folks. Maybe I'll bring one out.
You can bust something out.
I can bust something out. I think I have lately, because I was thinking about people who could have played Ben Kenobi. I think I might have a John Hurt that might bust out.
Okay. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
Number 4 is Trading Places. We said that already. Number 3, she's a welder. She's welding things the whole movie.
Flashdance?
That's right. And number 2, you'll laugh, you'll cry. What a movie.
Terms of Endearment.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I did pretty well.
Yeah, not bad. And, number 1 is The Return of the Jedi. So we do have a lost recording of...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. George Lucas in 1982 talking about Spielberg. Right? Planning for this third film.
Is it like another phone call between them, or is it like a live kind of a reporter recording it?
They're hanging out.
Okay.
They're in Spielberg's. They're on set. Spielberg is filming, probably E.T.
Right. Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Go ahead. Yeah.
Steven.
Hey, George. Thanks for stopping by the set, man. What do you think of my new movie?
I love it. But I gotta say, you should wait to make this movie 20 years, because then they can look like video game characters.
I guess I could do that. That's not a bad idea, but I got the merchandising stuff going on. I kind of followed your lead with that, so I have dolls, and we got E.T.'s face on Reese's Pieces and all that.
That's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you working on, man?
Oh, what do I ever work on?
So
I'm not in the movie business anymore, Steven. I'm in the Star Wars business.
Oh, I knew that, my friend. So what do you got going for your third movie in your Ninetology?
Well, you might recall it's the 6th movie.
Right. The third of the 9 and the 6 of the 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is called The Revenge of the Jedi.
Ooh, that's kind of ominous.
Is it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Empire was so dark. You wouldn't want to make a movie about a hero and have the second one be too dark. You wouldn't want like Doom in the title. So maybe something a little less dark than Revenge. Maybe I don't know.
Do you not think this will appeal to kids?
Parents might be a little worried if it's Revenge. They're very. We got to worry about the parents. They need things that are gentle and sweet.
What about the snuggles of the Jedi?
That's not too bad. I mean, are you going to have some furry creatures in it or something?
You know it.
Okay. What if they just a character come back? Is it like maybe some sort of return of some sort?
Well, all your favorites come back, of course.
So maybe just like Return of the Jedi?
I love it.
All right. But make sure it's Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. I think that would be
I need at least a colon and a staff in the title, of course.
Yeah, I don't think you could do without that, really.
No.
So what happens in this one? What are you thinking?
They meet some teddy bears, and then, and Leia gets turned into a whore.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you don't want to tread lightly with that, but
Oh, yeah.
George, we're in public.
Ah.
George, we're in...
Ah.
George, this is not a nude beach. You gotta be careful.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. We're not in Ibiza. Well, I love the teddy bear idea.
I did a couple years ago when we made a sand castle when we were planning Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was memory lane. Well, I got to tell you right now, I think the teddy bear idea is phenomenal, and I think it's going to go over well. And I think once you're completed with these, it will be looked at as the strongest idea in any of the Star Wars movies. Yeah.
Yay!
So I like. Yeah.
Let's go make it. Zip.
Okay.
And scene.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lost. I had never even heard that one existed.
No. We'll have another one later on for the Phantom Menace, of course.
Did you ever notice in these recordings, I don't know if I ever pointed this out, how much Steven Spielberg actually sounds a little bit like me? He even has my phrasing and my diction.
I think you're full of shit.
Really?
You wish.
You don't think he sounds like me?
No.
Okay. All right.
Henry,
me projecting, I guess.
What's your top 10 movies of 1983?
All right. Top 3 are a little slapdash, but they all belong on there. My number 10 movie of 1983 is Cujo.
That's a good movie. I got no problem with that.
It was never on there. I threw it on.
Okay. I've got The Man with Two Brains.
Aha. My number 9, I got 2 kingies in a row. Christine.
That should be on my list. I love Christine.
Great. Christine's great.
Yeah. I have Koyana Scazzi.
I took it off because I think that's 82, but that's okay.
Oh, no.
I know, man. But I'm going to accept that. That's acceptable because I think when we did Blade Run 82 for Blade Run, I think I put it on that list. So whatever. My number 8 is Man with Two Brains.
My number 8 is Trading Places.
All right, too low. My number 7 is Videodrome.
My number 7. Oh, by the way, too low. My number 7 is The King of Comedy.
That's my number 6.
My number 6 is Valley Girl.
Right, never saw it. My number 5 is Zelig.
Sadly, my number 5 is Return of the Jedi.
Okay, all right, don't be sad. My number 4 is Trading Places.
My number 4 is Vacation.
That's my number 3.
My number 3 is Zelig.
Very similar. Here we go. Number 2 is Return of the Jedi.
That's crazy talk.
Well, we made this list a long time ago.
Yeah. My number 2 is Fanny and Alexander.
My number 1 movie of 1983, and I will never change it, I don't think, is Risky Business.
Risky Biz. My number 1 is Videodrome.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Risky Business, nowhere to be found on your list, huh?
Nope.
You'd probably change that if you could do it over, no?
I'd have to rewatch it.
Yeah, been a while.
Yeah, but
one of the only DVDs ever, I think, with Tom Cruise with commentary.
Oh, does he commentate?
Yeah, it's kind of neat. He probably does it now all the time. Who knows?
I don't know. He's in Vanilla Sky commentary. I know that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I have that DVD. Never watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about it. The Return of the Jedi. Listen,
Yeah.
It starts off, we're a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
So
right?
Yeah.
There's a field of stars. I'm on board.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Pan down. Now we're on Tatooine. There's the droids. I'm still in.
Oh, absolutely. Great opening.
Yeah. Now they get into Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun little creatures in there.
There's a little too many creatures in there. I mean, now you watched, and we have to say it. I don't know what is going on in your version. I don't know. I don't want to know, but I will now. But in my version, I already thought there were too many puppets and stuff, and I never thought that before.
Well, the thing is, there's too many puppets, but in the special edition, which I watched, there's also like CGI creatures.
Oh, I know that. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
There's one little guy that's singing in the band,
Okay.
and he's having a whale of a time.
And they're singing a different song.
I don't know. I think that
Yeah,
might
they
be...
are. They are.
You sure about that?
I'm almost positive.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, unless it's like...
I don't know. It's a poor man's cantina. Listen, we have gotten confirmation from more than one source, including Aaron Farinelli and at Space Cadet Juan on Twitter, that John Williams wrote the cantina music, which I'm a huge fan of.
Sure.
And that in Star Wars canon, the genre of music that they're performing
Oh, yeah, I read this. Yeah,
is called jizz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jizz, folks. You heard us right.
Yep.
For you non-Star Wars fanatics. Jizz.
So go back and watch A New Hope. You'll be getting all that jizz in your ears.
There's a lot of jizz flying around these movies.
Yeah.
Especially in Jabba's hut, as I call it.
I gotta tell you,
There's lots of jizz going on.
that place, it must just stink to the high heavens of like, you know when you've like fucked like 20 times on your sheets and you don't wash them?
It's never a good idea.
You ever do that?
Yeah, sure.
My God.
Not
The
a good
stench,
idea.
and you don't notice it, but then maybe someone walks into your room and they're like, whoa.
Somebody was fucking.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
air is thick with
Yeah.
cock and balls.
Yeah, it's...
That's what Jabba's palace reminds me of.
and it's like all alien, too, so it's probably worse.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
even know. He's like a big slug, I guess.
Right.
And, he's got like a little monkey guy that's laughing all the time.
Right.
But
But-
lots of robots. There's
Still-
there's that big galoot downstairs.
The Rancor.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, the Rancor. I'm sure that was fucked around with in your version.
I don't
but,
believe so. It looked pretty old timey.
Looks awesome to me.
Yeah, it's okay.
I loved it. I love the opening anyway, despite the puppets.
No,
and
I gotta tell you, I mostly really like the opening of Return of the Jedi. They did fuck with the what's the little guy in the ground?
The Sarlacc pit. The little guy. Yeah, I remember that, right? Doesn't he can actually leave his pit or something?
Yeah, he's got like a beak that sticks up. But
Ugh.
in the original, I remember it well. It's one of my favorite things in Star Wars lore because it's just a gaping mouth in the ground.
That's right.
And there's something about that that's legit scary to me.
That's right. It is.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of the Sarlacc pit. I'm a
Right.
fan of a lot of the stuff in that sequence. There is a little bit of too much of a goofball stuff going on.
It's a little goofy. It's a little lighter. The tone is lighter in moments in that, but I want to point out.
To me, I think between 1980 and 1983, they sold so much goddamn merchandise that this movie is for babies.
They wanted to make more action figures.
Yeah, they got toys. Every character in this movie is just a sweet toy idea.
I had them all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. But I gotta say this ties in with the special edition of the original Star Wars, and why Jabba the Hutt loses so much potency if that's what you watched. It wasn't what I watched, but Jabba is a fucking great villain, and one of the reasons I think, and the same goes for the Emperor, is the mystery of Jabba is great. Like his total immobility and the fact that you have heard about Jabba the Hutt in the first two movies. He's mentioned throughout. And so when you finally meet him, it's fucking great. It's great. It is not spoiled, right? You don't see him yet until Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, he's hanging out in his cave. He's smoking hookah.
He can't move.
Yeah.
It's just this great inexplicable villain who's just, reviled and feared. He's like a big mafia boss or something. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, look, he's great. I got no problems with the opening of this movie, really, except for a little bit of childish goofiness. Listen, the Princess Leia thing is weird.
It's great.
Gold bikini.
It's great.
She's held slave. I don't want to know what the fuck happened to her in between her.
I don't think anything happened.
You don't think she's raped by Jabba?
I don't know if he has the ability.
Tell.
Well, oh God, I think he just likes sexual ornaments. I don't know. I've never wanted to think that far into it.
I've thought about it a lot, and I think some bad shit went down there that she and Han are going to be dealing with for years. I think ultimately it's going to lead to their divorce in The Force Awakens.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There was Jabba's interference. In
I think she's fucked for the rest of her life because of this interaction.
Oh boy!
I will say, I mean, there's almost nothing hotter than Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, I have to. You
movie.
can't look, man. I'm sorry. That's the truth. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat that.
Don't sugarcoat it. Let's just be a couple of dudes. It's.
I got to agree with Lucas.
What did he say? Oh wait, what about what?
When he was fapping it with Spielberg about
God. Right. Yeah. No, it's a great outfit. It's really good.
Did you see in Phantom Menace? There's like a lady on the balcony with him during the pod race wearing the golden bikini.
Oh, I didn't notice. There was too much other clutter going on in that for me to notice.
My God, is that movie cluttered?
It's
this one is too, though. Listen, I gotta tell you.
Well,
once they get to the forest moon of Endor, I'm out.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't. I wasn't. I mean, you know what it is that saves this movie to me and still makes it great is it's the little moments. I love the stuff like when Luke kills the Rancor and the fucking keeper of the Rancor just comes up and he's like crying because his like pet is dead.
I wanted to ask you about that. I didn't know that guy was supposed to be the keeper of the Rancor. Mm-hmm. I only took 2 notes on this movie. One of them is, who's this fat, hairy, crying man?
Yeah, that's his, dog whisperer. Or
that
whatever.
Is a very weird moment.
I think it's great. I think it's very funny. It's like this fucking beast has like a master. I thought it was just a nice little touch, and his friends consoling him. I think it's funny.
It just makes
apparently you didn't.
It just makes it not scary. It makes it fun for all audiences. It's cute.
Well, there's some interesting plot holes that I never really noticed in that opening, though, which I overlook because of the overall awesomeness of that whole exchange. The first, 20 minutes, 25 minutes almost. This is a terrible plan to rescue Han Solo. Did you ever think of that?
I don't even know what this plan is supposed to be.
I don't
There's
either.
like 17 phases.
That's right.
Billy D. Williams is involved somehow. We have to get Leia captured.
Right.
It's possible the droids are going to get murdered. They have to know exactly where the carbonite is and how to get it down. And they have to make sure everyone's asleep in the middle of the night.
But
is this the only carbonite he has? As Phantom Menace explains, this is a planet that is run by Jabba the Hutt.
Right.
So is Han the only one that's ever run across this guy?
No, it's that's a great point. It could be like the Tate Gallery. He could have like people from all over the galaxies up there. But
it should look like the last scene in Raiders in there.
Yeah, right. But yeah, the droids come. R2 plays a message that gives up the droids. C-3PO is very worried and upset. R2 seems to be the only one that really knows what's going on because even Lando and Chewbacca is captured, and is that intentional? And then Leia gets captured because of they're not really sleeping, and who tipped off Jabba, and and then Luke falls to the Rancor, and he has the fucking Force, but he can't get out of the Sark.
I think
can't get out of that pit.
I think the question is, who did Jabba tip off? And the answer is Leia.
Oh, God.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh.
Abada Wookie.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Did
Sure.
your Jabba have subtitles?
Yes.
Mine did not.
Really?
Yeah.
Always has. They always have.
Yeah, I
James
thought I
subtitles.
remembered subtitles, but he doesn't have them in the special.
Oh, that's
edition.
great. So
Very
you're
weird.
you're not only already confused by the visual
Yeah,
clutter
I
and
have
the
no
oral,
idea
the
what the fuck
oral
he's
clutter.
talking about.
You don't even know what the exchange is.
No.
That's great. That's great. It helps too because it makes it cool with the subtitles because Jabba clearly understands English, but he can't speak English. Kind of like me with Spanish. I can understand words here and there, but I can't speak it. You know, that kind of thing.
Sure. All right.
So we get a great fight before we leave Tatooine. We get a great fight on that little hovercraft, and they blow up Jabba's palace. And that's all awesome. The Sarlacc fight and Han
that's all
reuniting
good.
with. But I noticed right away something that disappointed me, and I think this is absolutely a result of watching back-to-back Star Wars then Empire. The jokes just aren't as funny. The interactions aren't as
It's
funny.
not funny. Return of the Jedi. It's never funny. It's so broad. I mean,
It
might
tries.
I know it tries, but like the jokes are like something out of like, Cheaper by the Dozen or something.
Yeah,
That's what
I mean,
it reminds
there's a
me
couple
of.
funny-
It's like Eddie Murphy, Dr. Doolittle. This movie.
There's a couple of good exchanges between 3PO and Han Solo, but not
Listen,
too many.
Han gets by on the on the strength of Harrison Ford. Like he's so charismatic and fun still that like it works fine. But like,
Right. Right.
Luke is still in the doldrums of finding out Vader's his father in this movie, so he doesn't get to be funny. And so all the
Right.
weight of the laughs are on the Ewoks. And the Ewoks are terrible.
I didn't. Okay, here it is. I never was bothered that much by them. I think the reason for that is because they're not CGI'd, and that didn't bother me. And so the fact that they're at least tangible and there's like fucking people in them interacting with actors.
But it's just Muppets. All of a sudden in this
Right,
fucking movie, we're
you're
on
right.
Planet Fraggle Rock.
Right. No, that's correct. You're right, but that's not the weakness of the movie to me. The weakness of the movie is essentially the editing and the constant cutting between stories. No character is really given as much time or dialogue as they are in the first two. And that's a problem.
Let me ask you a question. This
Yeah.
movie takes place like 6 months after the last one.
Oh, does it really? That short a time?
Maybe a year. I don't know. I
actually
will
think it's
tell
like
you the
2 years.
only like extended universe Star Wars thing I ever read was a novel that took place in between Empire and Jedi.
Oh.
Shadows of the Empire. I remember Wedge Antilles had a really big role.
Mm.
A lot of it was about them planning this heist on Jabba.
Really?
Yeah,
So maybe some answers are found there.
it's possible. I don't remember. So, Luke goes back to Dagobah in this movie.
Well, that's all good stuff, man.
No, it's not.
Okay. Wow, you really came down. Well, you said Nostalgia Buster, so I should be ready for this stuff.
Listen,
yeah.
Since when? Listen.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it. We're on Dagobah. I want to hear it.
Yoda is 800 years old in Empire.
Right.
All right? And
Running
he's
around, seemingly healthy.
training Luke to be his Padawan learner.
Mm-hmm.
Not that word is spoken until Phantom Menace.
Oh, right.
But now Luke goes back to visit him, and he's on his deathbed?
Well, that's why I think a long time has passed, too.
No, it's 1 year. I looked it up because everything is pre or post Battle of Yavin in the Star Wars continuity. All right?
But when the movies were made, had that book been written?
No. It has nothing to do with the book. I'm
Oh,
talking.
well then...
This is canon. This is what Lucas has said.
Oh, he's so full of shit.
All right? So this takes place 1 year after Empire Strikes Back. So 1 year has passed, and this Yoda, who's been alive and thriving for 800 years, is all of a sudden dying of natural causes?
No, maybe he got an illness. Maybe he got cancer or something. We don't know.
What, swamp cancer?
He lives in a bog. I mean, it's disease-ridden. I mean, even though he's a reptilian, you don't know what little
It's
Yoda
true. There were a
creatures-
lot of snakes slithering around.
Yeah, I mean, he could have died of anything out there. Ebola, fucking Lyme disease. Who knows?
We don't know. We don't know. The Dagobah system could be riddled with disease.
Lyme disease I have. Lyme disease will be my downfall.
Downfall will Lyme disease.
Right,
be
sorry, I said that wrong. Right.
Yeah.
Downfall will Lyme disease be mine.
What? What, Yoda? What are you talking about?
Listen you not.
So he
Yeah.
just flat out dies in front of Luke.
Yeah, he did. Right,
And
right.
he's got
But-
the longest fucking death of all. Like, he gives this long monologue. Remember all this information that I have to give you, and will use my final breaths to deliver.
I've always thought that the practical human in me, every time I see that scene, I've always been like, Yoda, he had like some life in him when they first begin the conversation, but so why didn't he tell Luke all that vital stuff before, and then when he's dying, he can just kind of make sure it's done, so his last words can be more like,
Peace will I be now. Goodbye.
Bye good. And,
Exposition will my last task be.
right.
Important information given you two about Sister Will I. Now,
Right. So he
I
tells
know.
Luke that Leia's his sister. Presumably, Luke immediately goes to wash his fucking mouth out with soap. Because he's been jerking it to his sister for the last 4 years.
Yeah, that moment must have come as a crushing blow to him in many ways.
Yeah.
Not just the realization, but then so he dies, right? So Skywalker, and I always loved that, the way he says it. Scott, there is another Skywalker. Jesus, Yoda. God.
Slowly, my syllables come.
And then Alec Guinness shows up and sits on a log.
Of course he does. There's a lot of Alec Guinness in this movie. He's just fucking poltergeisting all over this thing.
And he tells Luke something I never really realized. It's very un-Jedi-ish. He basically tells Luke he has to kill Vader. And I'm
It's
thinking,
kind of fucked up, actually. He tells Luke he can't even be a Jedi until he
Right.
confronts Vader.
he says to him, you have to confront him, and Luke says, I can't kill my own father. And instead of Obi-Wan being like,
Well, I understand that, Luke.
Yeah, or whoa, nobody said anything about killing.
You don't have to jump the shark. I didn't say kill him. I just said confront.
but Luke goes, he immediately goes, but then after Luke says, I can't kill my own father, he goes,
Well, then I guess all hope is lost.
it's like, Jesus, Ben.
It's reverse psychology from this ghost.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's first ghost psychology. I can't even do it. They're on a similar nasally platform, Yoda and him.
I guess, yeah.
Ghost psychology it is.
God.
Kill father thy will in the killing of confronts.
I'll mess with his astral brain.
Projection. Projection is not good.
Yeah, okay. So,
All right, so back on Endor, they treat C-3PO as if he's a god, right? The Ewoks.
right.
They're
right.
dancing around, playing drums, There's so many of them.
Did you like the bike, the hover bike scene?
It goes on too long, but it's pretty cool.
It goes on too long. It's very cool. I was reminded exactly of the same thought I had of the final fight on the Death Star in A New Hope, where I'm thinking, how fucking many miles is this forest?
It kind of does go on forever.
Because like those guys are like, get back to base. Okay, and it's like, how far away were these troopers from the base? I mean, what's their perimeter that they have to watch? It's like 58,000 miles away from the base.
I'm also not into the forest setting, Henry.
I'm not either. I agree.
Remember I talked about Tatooine and Hoth? They seem so otherworldly.
And Dagobah.
Yeah, and Dagobah. This feels like fucking Temple of Doom.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
I mean, the trees are real tall.
Are they? I didn't even notice.
Yellowstone it is.
Is it? Correct. That's where they shot it?
I believe some of it, yeah. So there are a lot of real trees.
Yeah, they might as fucking well. Yogi Bear is helping them defeat the Empire.
Smokey the Bear putting forest fires out. He will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to start a fire with those lightsabers. As we find out in The Phantom Menace, they can, like, melt steel.
Oh, you're just itching. You're just itching. We're getting there. We're getting there. So we finally meet the Emperor.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is fucking great.
I like that Ian McDiarmid.
Oh, he is fantastic.
I gotta tell you, they bring him back for the prequels. He's a bright spot to Phantom Menace.
I agree. You want to know the most amazing thing about that performance and the makeup that I never knew ever upon doing my superhero counts and all this? Do you know how? Take a guess if you don't already know. How old do you think Ian McDiarmid was when he did Return of the Jedi?
I only know this because I looked it up, Henry.
Because you as astonished as I was?
Because I couldn't believe that he was in the prequels and looked so young. So what was he? He was like in his late 20s or something.
No, not that young, but he's my age. He's 39.
You're 39.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Gross.
Fuck yourself, will you? He is
Hold on, I have some vital information to give you, Dan.
Okay.
He is 39.
Yeah.
Very good. 39. I believe that's the title of a Cure song.
Well, there you go. Ian McDiarmid, 39 years old.
Yeah, amazing. Okay.
Sebastian Shaw, the unmasked Darth Vader, 79 when he filmed this.
His name is Sebastian Shaw?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's the name of the head of the Hellfire Club in the X-Men comics.
I think you're right. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Kevin Bacon was under the mask. A footloose Kevin Bacon.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Kevin Bacon plays that character.
Could have thrown him under the mask. Yeah.
Definitely. Most def. The movie, they're cutting back and forth between this battle with like a poor man's AT-ATs on Endor and Luke battling Vader on the whatever this is.
But that is incredible.
Yeah, no, that part's great. I love the Luke stuff in this movie is good. I really like the convo between Luke and Leia, where he reveals to her that he's her sister, that he's her brother, and also Han coming in hot after that conversation.
He's very upset,
and Leia correcting him.
Yeah, I also have a note here that I never noticed as well. Han Solo has apparently in this year that has elapsed, he has learned an immense amount of judo, because every trooper he takes out, it's like a flip over the back, like suplex karate judo move. Did you notice that? He's just flipping guys. He's just flipping guys, and they're out cold. they're done for.
Okay.
And I do want to say, besides the Emperor stargazing, which he seems to love very much, which, like Vader in his man cave, which I know we got some responses to, which we'll get to at the end of the episode. But the Emperor really likes just kind of staring out at astronomy. He's just kind of like looking at the stars in his chair. You know, he's got a good gig.
He doesn't seem to have many hobbies.
No. No, he's just kind of like a Bond villain.
He's
kinda
just
like,
interested in taking over the world. You know, he could have used a cat.
that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sure that maybe there's CGI in a cat at some point in the 10th edition.
Or like anything. You know, honestly, Jabba has that little laughing like
Right.
hyena guy. Maybe the Emperor needs one of those. Or when Watchmen, Ozymandias has that thing, Bubastis.
Right.
I think the Emperor needs like a pet.
He's a little lonely. I mean, he doesn't have a son or a daughter. He wants to have Luke as his, which led to one of my favorite exchanges. And I'm kind of kidding, but I never noticed him and Vader. They have some communication problems. Okay, so I wrote them down. So the Emperor is trying to get Vader to turn Luke to the dark side, and this is before Luke has entered the new Death Star station, fully operational. So the Emperor says, "You will go to him," and then Vader says, "He will come to me," and then the Emperor says, "Then let him come to you, and then you bring him before me." And Vader goes, "Okay, so I will let him come to me, and then when he comes to me, I'll bring him before you." And the Emperor goes, "And then I will turn him against his friends."
And then the Emperor goes, "No, what's on second? Who's on first?"
It is hilarious. Yeah, their exchanges are I don't know if it's the mask, if the Emperor's hearing. He's pretty old, but there's a lot.
They're both fucked up. This Emperor is old as shit. And Vader is more machine than man.
Right?
Is more machine than man.
So really there's some communication difficulties. Who's going to bring him to who, how, and why? It's like, where did I park my car? You parked it downstairs. I don't think I did. Yes, you did.
So ultimately, Vader turns back to the light side. He kills the Emperor.
It's one of the greatest moments in my favorite in movie history.
That's crazy, but it's cool. And
I think. Let me hold on a second. We're not fuck you. Or as Yoda would say, you fuck. All right, I can't. I got to stop the Yoda stuff. I don't really. I guess that moment and Williams. I got to say, John Williams, amping it up a notch. He brings in a choir. He's using a little electronica going on here, little keyboards and synths.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, I never did either until he starts it in the Jabba stuff, and then it comes in the end. And so we got the choir, and then there's this phenomenal shot when the Emperor is electrocuting Luke, where it just shows Vader and just shows his mask, and he's looking at the Emperor, and he's looking at Luke, and he's looking at the Emperor, and he's looking at Luke, and then he just fucking picks up the Emperor and tosses him over, man. It's fucking awesome, man. Come on!
But does the Emperor die, or does he fall into like a laundry chute the way Luke did in Empire?
I don't think he died. I think he fell into one of those little chutes, and then he got his hand fixed by a robot.
Oh.
So he's fine.
He's all right.
He's all right. That's
Yeah.
not. He didn't die. It's just he's hanging out one of those TV antennas in Cloud City.
Sure.
He's waiting
Sure.
waiting for Lando to come rescue.
Who is it? I was waiting for Billy D in this fucking movie. He finally shows up and give me the goods.
Oh, he sure does give the goods, though, doesn't he?
He's great.
Good. He's barely given anything, but he's great.
Yeah. It's nice to see him. They didn't have to put Lando in this movie, and I'm glad they did.
I'm glad too, and he borrows his Millennium Falcon, and that's a nice little exchange between him and Han Solo.
Sure, I like that bit.
And he's got a fish friend who's
Yeah. Oh, you mean Nien Nunba?
Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah, I looked it up because I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He's getting so much screen time.
Yeah, was he CGI'd in yours, or is
No.
That's
There
good.
wasn't that much CGI. Listen, they fuck up the Sarlacc pit.
In the ending, you're not fooling me.
And the end bit is terrible. There's that montage and where we see like the Gungans and then and of course Hayden Christensen shows up as a ghost.
Sacrilegious. That is sacrilegious. Now, I think I read this, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you'll remember. Did you see Jedi in the theater in the re-release?
No.
As a kid?
No,
You did.
I saw
So
Star Wars and Empire in theaters, and Jedi had left theaters before I got a chance to see it. So I saw the original version of Jedi for the first time.
okay, what I heard, because I don't remember, I saw the re-release of Jedi in the theaters. What I read was that in the re-release, they left Sebastian Shaw in there. For the DVD, they put in Hayden Christensen.
I believe that's true because the re-release happened prior to the prequels.
Right.
So Hayden Christensen was but a twinkle in George Lucas's eye.
That's right. So you don't even get to see fucking Sebastian Shaw, and you don't like the ending with Luke when he unmasks Vader. You didn't.
It's fine, but then I don't need the ghosts hanging out and winking at him. I mean, get out of here.
I loved it. I think the movie is the weakest of the trilogy, without question. I never would have said that ever, but
it's
it clearly
also too
is.
long.
I didn't think it was too
2
long,
hours and 16 minutes.
Endor and the stuff that happens on it are too long. I like the strongest parts of the movie are Jabba in the beginning and the ending with Luke and Vader, and those two parts are so fucking strong that for me, the rest of it doesn't really matter. I will always rewatch this movie. I'll never look at it quite the same way because I looked at it extremely critically this time, and that's where I was noticing stuff that stood out like a sore thumb. But
those parts of the movie are so good that it raises my grade to 3 stars.
Oh, that is really harsh. Wow. A real nostalgia buster, huh?
Nostalgia buster, man.
Coming right down. I thought maybe a 4. Oh, wow.
No bueno.
No bueno. As you wish. I'm giving it 5.
Who's your MVP?
Ian McDermott.
God, 5.
Because
right.
it's still
Sorry.
because it's still awesome. It's still awesome, man. Yeah. I mean, my rankings will show
listen,
otherwise.
We didn't talk about the Ewoks enough. They are garbage.
You know what, man? We're coming.
Listen, the part where they make C-3PO a god, the part where they're using all those handmade weapons, they're shooting slingshots at stormtroopers.
Did you read what George Lucas said
that was?
They're dropping
logs on them. It's fucking ridiculous.
Did you read George Lucas's explanation
I feel
of
I'm watching the Smurfs.
Yeah, that's true. Gargamel shows up at one point. Did you read Lucas's explanation the repudiation of that scene? It's one of the greatest bullshit answers I've ever heard in my life. I wish you would have read it because I would have liked to have heard George's actual voice saying it. Not that you impersonate him, but
we have access to the recordings that we have access to.
I know, you're right. We can't unfix something. He said that the reason it's believable that the Ewoks could fight off all these, enemies so primitively are because he was thinking of the Viet Cong fighting the American army.
Sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see the comparison. The teddy bears and the Ewoks with the Viet Cong. Yeah.
Sure.
I can buy it.
Between the teddy bears and the vicious gooks. Sorry, that's a slur.
That's a slur, he said.
It is.
Oh, don't worry, Dan.
We learned word. We learned that word in high school, I remember.
Oh, really?
I learned it. And in the Vietnam War, we called them gooks. That was something we learned. It was on tests.
Jesus Christ, where did you go to fucking high school? I learned it from Full Metal Jacket and Platoon. That's where I learned that word. I did. That's where I learned it. Well, that's
fine, but not me. Yeah. I learned it in
but what I was going to say was, don't you worry about any racial slurs that you may have committed, my friend, because George Lucas commits 1,000,000 coming up, so it's okay.
Stay tuned. Yeah, okay. My MVP, Henry.
Yeah. So what did you think of my MVP, by the way?
Ian McDiarmid.
Yeah, he's fucking great.
He's great. I like him. Listen, I already said I like him. He's fantastic. Over the top, but that's what you want. He's the Emperor.
Yeah.
My MVP is... You know what? I'm going to give it to Mark Hamill.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I
didn't think he was as good in this as he was in Empire.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked him in this movie. I could also give it... I want to give it to, like, one of the main guys. Because, like, I think Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher are both really good in this movie.
Yeah.
And they're given garbage to work with a lot of the time. And I'll say that Carrie Fisher's given way more garbage than Mark Hamill. So I'm going to go with Hamill.
Okay. A tie between Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher's bikini.
Maybe.
I do have an LVP.
Yeah, the Ewoks.
That's right. That's right. Just so you know, it's written down. I wrote it right away. I was like, oh yeah, they suck. Okay, audience, they're not good, but they don't ruin the movie for me.
Henry, should we cover the 2 Ewok TV movies?
I think so. Wasn't there a cartoon about them too?
There might have been. There might have been.
I have one superhero. And it's my mistake because he should have been in the first Star Wars A New Hope superhero count. Somehow I just didn't even think to look. But it's a late count. It's a oneer. It's James Earl Jones.
Oh, I'm sure he's a voice of a ton of things, right?
None. He was in a live-action episode, Lois and Clark.
Weird. No voices? What, he never...
Not that I could find.
That is very odd. You think he'd be a natural for like Dr. Doom.
Well, when I clicked on his name, I figured, oh boy, this is going to be a fucking chore, and there was nothing to be found. So,
how about that?
Yeah. All right. So 3 stars for Return of the Jedi. 5 for me. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Nominated for a few Oscars. For sound editing, visual effects, and sound mixing, it lost all 3 to The Matrix, which I remember being like a fun surprise at the time.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's a smaller movie.
Sure.
That's great. I have here the top 10 movies of 1999, of which Phantom Menace is number 1.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Any of my 10 on that list, I'm going to go with a hard no. So go for it. Go ahead.
Number 10, an independent film that was a big grosser that year. A bit of a phenomenon.
All right, then I'll give it a shot. Being John Malkovich?
The Blair Witch Project.
Oh, of course. Jesus Christ. Yeah, right. Okay.
Number 9, hey... Let's bring them back together. Gear. Roberts.
Oh, Runaway Bride?
That's it.
Oh, I pulled that one out, man.
No, that's easy. You should have known
that. No. The title of that movie was not in my cranium. I don't know how I did that.
That's crazy.
I used the Force.
Number 8. It's the first in a long-running franchise. Director Stephen Sommer.
Stephen Sommer?
Yeah. And it's
The Mummy?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
Number 7, good lord, Adam Sandler was big in 1999. What movie made it to the top 10?
All right, well, 98 was The Wedding Singer, right?
Yep.
99, which of his movies didn't I see that year?
I saw it in theaters.
I'm sure you did. Oh, it is that The Waterboy?
Nope, I believe that was also 98. He had a big 98.
Okay, I don't know.
Big Daddy.
Opera Man?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Sure. Which I, by the way, rewatched within this year.
Did they ever make an Opera Man movie?
No. They never made a Sandler Saturday Night Live movie.
Well, it needs to happen.
I would watch an Opera Man movie. I don't know if I could today. His whole thing has changed now. He used to be like, "Ooh, I'm the whack job," and now it's, "Hey, I'm this guy."
Right? Yeah, that's a good one. That's very good. Another impression.
Yeah.
That was good. You didn't do the usual Adam Sandler impression, so that was good. Usually they do the right. You did lower register. I like that. Right.
That's old Adam. That's young Adam Sandler. Boo 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 boo. And old Adam Sandler is, hey, I don't even know what's going on here.
Oh God, that's it. Yeah.
Number 6. It's a this year's Disney movie.
99 Disney movie. Is that a Toy Story?
Well, Pixar was not yet owned by Disney, but Toy Story 2 is on this list at number 3.
All right. Well, fine. I don't know.
Tarzan.
Oh, is that the one with the Phil Collins song?
It is. You'll be in my heart.
You know how I've gone. You know how you.
That
know
was
a lot
the year.
Of my,
that was the year, Henry, that the South Park movie and Amy Mann's "Save Me" were nominated for Best Song, and "You'll Be in My Heart" by Phil Collins won.
Oh my God! Now you know how I have. This is off air. We've talked many years about both some of our favorite. Me probably more than you. Artists that are, I just loathe with an unholy distinction, disdain. Is Alan Menken is one of those people?
Oh, is he the guy that did the music for that?
He does every.
He did the Lion
Disney
King,
story.
right?
Oh,
he's got some good
that
stuff though.
motherfucker.
I like the Lion King music.
Fuck that guy.
Okay.
Fuck you,
Alan
Alan Menken.
It's funny. I thought you were going to say Phil Collins. You pulled out Alan Menken.
Yeah, Phil. Yeah, I could take or leave him, but Phil Collins is like lint, in the pocket. You don't really notice it's there. He's not. He's whatever.
No, fuck that guy. Number 5 is The Matrix. Number 4, previous movie we've covered. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Number 3, Toy Story 2. Number 2, a movie in which, spoilers, Bruce Willis is dead.
Would that be the Village?
No. Oh, good one. All right, I didn't know you were joking. The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And number 1, The Phantom Menace. What a number 1 it is. I do have a recording of George Lucas here.
Okay. Where do you find these ones? Where do you get these things?
The dark web.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just didn't know. Is this again between Lucas and Steven? He's always calling Steven.
Steven?
Yeah. Hey, George. I had a bad line there. I guess we're communicating.
Steven?
This one was by phone. Yes, George. I'm here. What's going on, man?
As you know, I've written the first draft to my new Star Wars saga movie.
Anxiously awaiting it, my friend.
It's called The Phantom Menace.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's like a ghost involved in it?
No, it's more metaphorical.
Oh, gonna use metaphors in the Star Wars? Okay.
It's a heady film about trade routes and taxation.
Okay.
A lot
Is
of
there?
intrigue in the Galactic Senate.
But okay, I'm not. I mean, obviously you're gonna have a kid in it, right?
Yeah, duh.
I was gonna say I'm not interested unless. Okay, so what else? What's the story?
Listen, Steven, right
Yes.
off the bat, I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
I've offered this new Star Wars movie to Robert Zemeckis and Ron Howard, and they both said no.
No,
What?
I can't do it.
Steven!
I can't do it.
Steven, you're my last resort. I need a director for this film.
George, you can do it yourself,
No!
man. I just finished Saving Private Ryan.
Concentrate on the
And
special effects.
No, I gotta worry. I'm trying to do this Kubrick project that I really want to get done. I don't know how it's going to turn out. It might be very, 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 very good, and I think I'm looking forward to working on that. So I'm booked, man. You should take the helm yourself. It's kind of like a return. It's your return, man. It's your big return.
I've written it. Isn't that enough?
No, you need to help me, George. It's your.
What if you direct it and I'll supervise the visual effects?
I don't work like that. I really don't like to have somebody over my shoulder. Even my
work
best
second unit.
even my best bud. I think it'd be good if you you did it on your own. Wait, what about? I know. You know what, George? Have you asked McG?
Who's that?
He's a guy. He's working on a Charlie's Angels remake. He might be kind of cool for this.
Well, listen, that sounds like an amazing idea for a film, but it's got to be one of the top names. Robert Zemeckis, Ron Howard. They said no. It's got to be you, Steven.
What about Rob Reiner? Did you talk to Rob?
He doesn't know how to work with special effects. He still likes puppets. This is going to be all CG.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I'm just trying to think of other names for you. I don't see it. It's just not my kind of project, man. Maybe Mike Judge. I saw an episode of Beavis and Butthead. That was cartoony.
Listen, they don't know special effects. We need a big name director.
What about is Woody available? Is Woody available?
He works small scale. You know that.
How about Martin?
This is a lost cause.
I'm sorry, George. I'm just too booked, and I'm trying to help you out. But yeah.
Steven.
George, don't cry. Don't cry, man. It's going to be a huge success, no matter who directs it. But you got to do it, man.
You are the last hope.
No, I'm not. You are the hope, man. It's you. You're the great white hope. It's on you. It's on you, you bearded bastard. I know you can do it. I want to hear you do it, man. It's going to be huge.
Do you think it'll be great?
I think it'll be the best movie you've ever made, and I think it'll be the highest grossing movie you ever made, especially if you put some more stuff about like galactic inner trade. But you got to have a big story in there with the kid. Make the focus of the movie a kid. Now, and I don't mean like a 12 or 13-year-old kid. I mean like 5 or 6 years old. Make him the protagonist.
That means I could probably have some poop jokes.
Yeah, I think that would make it audience friendly. Mm-hmm.
I'll do it.
And scene.
Nice. Sounded like Steven was choking on his drink or something. I don't know what's wrong there.
Oh, that's very specific. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I heard him. It sounded like he had some trouble. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah.
Henry, what are your top 10 films in the year of our Lord, 1999?
Anno Domini, number 10. There's a couple on here I'd change, but overall I'm happy. Three Kings.
My number 10 is Spike Lee's Summer of Sam.
That's 99, huh?
Yep.
All right. Jesus. Yeah, I would have replaced Three Kings with that pronto. Number 9, Sweet and Lowdown.
Number 9. Oh, that's not on my list. That's a great movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, and you know I'm a Woody Allen apologist.
Well, it's the last great Woody Allen movie.
Oh, that's not true. But this is number 9 here, The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Not on my list, but a very good movie. Number 8 for me is Office Space.
God, not on my list.
Ooh.
That's a problem. That's got to be on here.
That is a problem. See, I'm very happy with mine.
I got to change some of the stuff on this list.
I know. Well, we can always do a 2018 revision. Let's go through all 45 of our lists. And,
Okay.
Just, yeah.
My number 8 is American Movie.
Oh, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that in the theater. Yeah. All right. My number 7 is American Beauty.
That's my number 7. God,
I love the movie.
What Wes Bentley must have gone through on the set of that movie.
Boy.
With K-Space.
I bet he was being videotaped through Windows.
Oy.
Yeah. He was filming more than a floating plastic bag.
Yeah, man. That's sad. All right, what's number?
I can't watch it again.
Number
I'm not
6?
gonna watch it again.
We'll see. What's number 6?
Election.
I got Three Kings over here.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd have that at all.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
movie.
All right. Number 5, a movie you'll never put on there, but still one of my favorite movies, The End of the Affair.
That's a good movie.
Oh, I didn't know you liked that movie.
Yeah, Julianne
Neil
Moore's great.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got number 5, Eyes Wide Shut.
Way too low.
Okay.
I'm almost like my heart kind of just went, oh.
Leapt out of your chest a little.
Oh, my God. My Lord. Okay, number 4, 1999, Being John Malkovich.
My number 4 is Fight Club.
Okay. My number 3 is Magnolia.
My number 3 is...
It's top 3, man.
My number 3 is Election.
Okay. My number 2 is Fight Club.
My number 2 is Being John Malkovich.
Okay, we're about to do number 1, and you don't have Fight Club on your list. Is that correct?
No, it's number 4.
Oh, I missed that. Okay,
Okay.
sorry. Okay. The number 1 movie of 1999, Eyes Wide Shut.
All right, there you go.
And your number 1 is?
Magnolia. That's a superior film.
Yeah, no. One of my favorite films of all time, Magnolia.
Listen, I know Kubrick's your man. He's your favorite filmmaker of all time. Eyes Wide Shut is a great movie, but it's like Kubrick's like 5th best movie or something, and Magnolia's a masterpiece.
So is Eyes Wide Shut. and Magnolia is not his best movie.
It's his 2nd best movie. I haven't seen Phantom Thread yet, but
I don't feel that way anymore. I think it's his 3rd best movie.
What are you putting ahead of it?
The Master.
No, listen. I love The Master. It's no Magnolia.
Magnolia, I got to admit, for me, is absolutely due a rewatch. It's been a very long time. I saw it 1,000 times when it first came out.
I watch it once a year.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's 99. A good year in film.
A great year, 1999. Yeah. Okay. Star Wars. It starts off a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Field of stars. You get a crawl. Then we're going down. There's like a trade ship.
Remember when I saw it in the theater? Big applause and cheering when the crawl
Oh,
started.
me too. Me too. I think I saw it midnight.
Oh, did? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't give that much of a shit.
I
think
know.
saw it
I
after.
know. I saw Clones and Sith midnight. I'm not 100% sure on Phantom Menace. I think I did though. I was very excited about it. And and I thought I loved it because there was so much excitement. There was a big applause when the crawl started, and everyone was reading it, and they were reading about all the trades and the government bureaucracy.
Yeah,
And-
very exciting crawl.
Yeah. And then we go down and we meet our heroes of the film, Qui-gon Jinn
Yes.
and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep.
Qui-Gon is Liam Neeson, playing older than he actually is, and Obi-Wan is the young Obi-Wan. Alec Guinness's character is now Ewan McGregor with a rat tail.
I don't think it's a rat tail, man. I think it's a samurai do.
No, man, he looks like he's in the New Kids on the Block.
That is true.
He's like fucking Jonathan Knight over here.
I was just gonna say, which new kid? Which new kid?
Jonathan Knight.
Hanging tough.
Yeah. So there are heroes. You're meant to really like them.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not our only heroes.
Oh, right. They team up with this fella named Jar Jar Binks, and
I
he's
didn't even. Yeah.
Oh, who are you thinking of?
No. We'll get there. It's fine.
So they meet Jar Jar pretty early in this movie. He's a CGI creation. I remember he was a big deal. Like, they announced Jar Jar before the movie came out. He was on the cover of Entertainment Weekly.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone was super excited about this guy. He's a bit amphibious, but he's got, like, long ears. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He jumps. He sets it up very early in exposition. He's been kicked out of the Gungan underwater city for being very clumsy. All right. This guy's constantly knocking things over.
I will confess that about halfway through the movie, I put the subtitles on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what he was saying.
I understood what he was saying every step of the way.
I wanted to see it written out. I was so angry by that point at the entire production. I wanted to fucking see this written out.
He's the star of this movie.
And they got somebody to translate his shit for subtitles.
Of course. Listen, but he has like the most dialogue of anyone in this movie.
Misa no have a boomer.
Listen, he talks like that. He's got like a weird Jamaican accent, kind of.
Oh, he's not even the beginning of that. Let's just don't short shrift. Okay, at the beginning, we get Lucas isn't even trying anymore. I mean, this is just the definition of everything is CGI. I don't give a shit about anything. Okay?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about those bad guys in the beginning who look like
the little green fellas.
Yeah, the poor man's Admiral Akbar.
They're not CGI.
I don't give a shit. So they're talking. Oh, this is very bad.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Very bad. I remember in the theater. I remember going to myself. I said, "Self, what the fuck are you watching? What is he doing?"
No, it's true. They talk like American dubs of
sushi chefs
of Japanese monster movies.
They look like hibachi chefs.
Oh, yes. Seaweed bad for you. I get you mercury contamination in salmon.
Yeah.
It's
unbelievable.
Maybe Senator Palpatine want unagi. You want eel? Oh, yes indeed. Yes.
A trade restriction on the planet of Naboo, a.k.a. Japan, would supremely bring down prices for our samurai sauce.
Please.
Hi.
Please lower taxation on trade route to planet Benihana.
This is all revenge for Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yeah.
God, I said
Fucking
Duke
Iwo
earlier.
I'm just doing what he's doing.
I know. It's. And
I'm not done. We didn't get to Watto yet.
Yeah. Well, we're not there yet. I want to talk more about this Jar Jar guy.
So, who do you think? What nationality is he stereotyping there?
Jamaica.
That's right. So we got Jamaican and we got Japanese.
We saw Jamaica, man.
Hey,
Go
man.
underwater, drop so many rocks.
What's they doing? They broke a head. God, I wrote them down. I'm sorry, in quotes.
All right, this is
Ahmed
Best. Everyone thought his career was going to be huge.
Oh, big deal, big deal. Can I spell out one of the lines that the subtitler wrote on my screen?
Fine.
Mesa no Havabuma. Okay, MESA separate word NO separate word HAVA separate word BOOMA. Mesa no Havabuma.
I wrote down one Jar Jar line.
What's that?
My note here says that somebody farts, and Jar Jar responds, "P-U-S-A."
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
No. I mean, he is bad. Now,
this is a Star Wars movie riddled with fart and poop jokes.
Yeah, this is true. Now, Jar Jar, I know. Now, okay, key question here, franchise co-host. Is Jar Jar as... Are the Ewoks as bad as Jar Jar?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's coming out now. So there ain't no comparison.
No, no. Come on.
Not even close.
No. The Jar Jar Binks is the worst thing that's ever happened in any Star Wars movie.
I'm not sure about
And in
that
most
yet.
movies.
So, it's cinematic history.
Yeah.
It's worse than I thought. That's all I got to say. I said at the beginning of the episode. It's just, he's worse. It's worse. We haven't gotten to the kid yet.
I kind of wanted to have a hot take where I'm like, you know what? Jar Jar, he's not bad. It's kind of funny.
Right. Sure.
No, he's fucking garbage.
It's amazing. Oh, by the way, you said earlier when I was doing the top 10 about Pixar not having bought, at that point, right? They weren't.
Right.
I didn't know that George Lucas made this movie as a Pixar movie.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is it's a fucking Pixar movie with 2 or 3 humans thrown in.
That's not true. There are listen, I will say, you want me to say my positives about The Phantom Menace?
It'll be a hot take no matter what it is.
I think there are some beautiful sets in this movie.
There's no sets.
No, there are sets. There are some beautiful sets, and there are some eye-popping visuals. And,
Really?
listen.
Name one.
Okay, Jar Jar takes them underwater.
Mm-hmm.
And in theory, from the outside, underwater Star Wars, I'm loving this.
Cool.
Yeah. And that opening shot of the Gungan city all lit up underwater when they're like swimming over the ridge down there, I think is a really beautiful shot.
I don't.
Okay.
It's a fucking cartoon. Just make it a cartoon.
But listen, it's CG. That's I'm gonna like
Marvel is CG and nothing looks like shit in their movies.
But Lucas's whole thing is that it's a world of CG. Like they only made sets up to the actors' heads, and everything else is CG. So like it's ridiculous. So like. But there's things that are CG in this movie that I kind of like. I'm gonna say this right now, and it's gonna piss you off.
Yeah.
I think the pod race is fun.
Really?
Yeah.
You think the pod race is fun?
I think the pod race is fun.
You think the pod race is fun? I thought the pod race wasn't fun when I watched it in theaters, but I was more quizzically staring at the screen like someone had overcooked my steak.
It was
this
fun.
time.
It's like watching your friends play Mario Kart.
No, it's not. It's not. You know how when you watch friends play video games and you just want to play, like Mikey and Swingers?
No, sometimes I'm smoking weed and I'm enjoying my friends
I'm
video
not. I'm
games.
not. So I just want to play the game. So for me, this is not fucking fun. It's just.
I do remember there was a pod race video game when this movie came out.
Of course there was.
And there was a video game that was like a fighting game where like you fight with lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there were a lot of video games.
But we don't get to the pod race until we get to meet Waddle, eh?
Okay.
Hey, I don't know where he's from.
But before we meet Waddle, we meet Boss Nass.
Oh, right.
Played by British idiot Brian Blessed.
You aren't kidding. I looked that guy up.
Yeah. Boss Nass, he's the head of the Gungan city. His whole character seems to be that every so often he goes like this. And you think he's just in this one scene and it's like, all right, well, at least we're done with that guy. He's like really important in this movie.
Yeah, he seals the deal at the end.
He leads the army against the Empire.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So but they meet Boss Nass. Jar Jar gets out of trouble down there, and then they take a speeder, like an underwater speeder, and they're running away from like big fish monsters.
Yeah.
There's really always a bigger fish.
It's very harrowing.
I liked some of it.
Did you?
It was kind of Ray Harryhausen-y.
Oh, man, that's a big compliment.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid, and all the dialogue is stupid, and Jar Jar's hanging out, freaking out. Meanwhile, he lives in an underwater city, and like every time a fish shows up, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna die!"
Yeah, all the time. I guess he's never been underwater. I don't know.
He swims pretty okay, you know.
He seems to. Yeah.
So they get up, and what happens now? Do we meet Queen Amidala yet?
Probably.
Queen Amidala, she's Natalie Portman in geisha makeup.
Yeah.
Except when she's Keira Knightley in geisha makeup.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know that at the time because Keira Knightley wasn't a thing. But
Natalie Portman's a thing. And this whole movie, Natalie Portman, she's like the queen, and she's always in like makeup, but she's also like dressed down, and she has like a decoy dressed up as the queen. So like but we're looking at this handmaid thinking we're supposed to think it's a handmaid, but all of us in the audience know that for a year now they've been advertising this fucking new Star Wars movie with Natalie Portman playing Queen Amidala.
Right.
And so like when this handmaid is Natalie Portman, they're not fooling anybody. We know it's Queen Amidala. It's fucking Natalie Portman.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Well, that's one of the problems before the movie was even made that I remember being worried about. Because I was optimistic, like the world, and I was worried. I was like, wait, part of the greatness and charm of the first movie was that no one really knew any of the actors. And now we're bringing in these big stars, and that kind of takes the charm out of it before the credits even roll.
Well,
the
look,
long credits.
Liam Neeson's the only big star in this movie.
Oh, Ewan McGregor was very well known. I was old enough to...
but he was known from like Danny Boyle films and shit.
No, but he was a face. I knew him.
I mean, I knew him too. I'd seen A Life Less Ordinary.
No, but I mean, and then Natalie Portman. I mean, come on, man, it's too much.
But like, I mean, did normal people know Natalie Portman? I knew her from like Beautiful Girls.
I knew her from The Professional and Beautiful Girls and what do you want me to pull up her fucking filmography?
I don't care.
She was famous.
Listen,
she was famous.
No, it doesn't matter who the actors in this movie are.
No, well, that's correct.
It's impossible to give a good performance.
She was also, yeah.
I don't know who to hold it against. There's tons of terrible performances in this movie. But I've seen Natalie Portman in other things. She won an Oscar for Black Swan and deserved it.
She's an excellent actress.
Ewan McGregor, I'll watch in anything. He was fucking fantastic on Fargo this past year.
He is phenomenal on Fargo.
Yeah.
He's tied with James Franco for playing twins.
A lot of twins flying around on TV this year.
I don't know who's better because they're both great. Yeah.
I'll say The Deuce is better than Fargo Season 3, but the Ewan McGregor performance as twins is better.
I don't know about either of those statements, but I mean, I can't really. They're both. I love both of them, so yeah. Okay.
Okay, so they go off in this little team to Tatooine, and it's Ewan McGregor, Liam Neeson, Natalie Portman, but Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson don't know she's Queen Amidala,
right?
And of course, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, because the Force isn't that powerful. They're not good at telepathy. They can't figure things like that out.
So their ship breaks down on Tatooine, and they need to have it fixed, and they don't have the credits or whatever, that space money. And
really, another great plot point.
Yeah. So they have to deal with this guy Watto, who's like the mechanic of Tatooine, I guess.
Watto, the flying Italian pizza maker, Arab carpet salesman. Yeah.
He looks like a fucking flying old minion. I mean, and I mean that voice. So what stereotype is this?
Oh, it fell under like 3 for me.
I feel like I was offended as a Jew, but I wouldn't be shocked if you were offended as an Italian guy.
That's right. That's right. I mean, right away, I remember when I saw it, I thought Middle Eastern right away, like an Arab,
No, that's Sebulba.
an Arab, but the Italian thing is coming out there, but then the Jewish thing kind of hit me too. It's kind of firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
Anything,
and he's a real Shylock, huh?
Yeah, right, for sure. You know, in any, pick your country, essentially, from Italy east. You can go anywhere Italy east. Turkey, you know, Iran. He's just a carpet.
Every new character in this movie fucking sucks. Every single one. Hey, look, Qui-Gon Jinn serves a purpose. He's like a little more grounded than the rest of them. I will say,
His purpose is to die.
I know that. Yes, his purpose is to die. But I think Liam Neeson is the only one that figures out how to act in this movie.
He is trying. I'll give him that.
He's not bad.
No, he's not bad. I agree.
He's the MVP.
Nah, I have another one for that.
That's crazy.
Well, it makes sense.
All right, I have.
We're not there yet.
Okay, we're not there yet. So they're dealing with Watto. Ultimately, they meet this little boy that works for Watto, and this little boy, played by Jake Lloyd, a.k.a. the kid from the Santa Claus, right?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
Is it the kid from the Santa Claus or the kid from Jingle All the Way?
I'll look it up. I think it's Jingle All the Way.
It is. It's Jingle All the Way. He plays Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Sure. Great career this kid had.
Do you need your Turbo Man doll?
Oh my
That's
God.
from Jingle All the Way. Okay.
I did not remember how young this fucking kid is supposed to be.
I think he's supposed to be 8. But he
Jesus
comes across
Christ.
he's a real moppet, this kid.
Oh my God.
He's got a real late 90s haircut, even though we're supposed to be a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
right.
And he's Anakin Skywalker. He's Darth Vader.
This is a bad child actor.
He's a really bad child actor. He first meets Natalie Portman, who, as Star Wars fans, we know one day. So the first time, it's an 8-year-old meeting Natalie Portman, and the first thing you invariably have to think is one day she's gonna fuck this kid.
Yeah.
One day that kid's little squirmy boy penis is going right up inside that queen.
God.
That kid's gonna shoot an early, gusty load right up into her. That's all I'm thinking. And they set it up straight ahead. He sees her. The first thing he says is, "Are you an angel?"
Yeah. I guess he's not at that age where he's like, "Oh, girls are gross." He's immediately like...
He's enamored of her.
Yeah. Immediately he's like a 13-year-old boy or 12-year-old boy.
And
whatever.
you know what? She's digging what he's given.
Yeah, she's not turned off.
No. I think she's thinking, the second I see a pube, I'm in.
For God's sakes, Alvy, even Freud thinks of a latency period.
Is that from
Annie
Annie
Hall?
Hall? Yeah. Okay. Look, Jake Lloyd. God, who's the LVP? Is it Jar Jar or Jake Lloyd?
It is. It's a 3-way tie for me, the LVP.
It's got to be Jar Jar. But this kid is, nails on the chalkboard bad.
He is one of the worst child performances we've covered, and we've covered quite a few.
I think it's the worst child performance because he's listen, and it's not all Jake Lloyd's fault. He's this little kid. I'm sure if we saw him in Jingle All the Way, which I watched that movie.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
I'm sure he's fine. You
wouldn't
can
even
play
care.
Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger's kid in a family movie. But he's asked to do a lot in this movie. Like, he's Darth Vader.
Yeah. Fucking retarded.
He's Luke Skywalker's dad.
It's unrelatable. It's retarded. It makes no
Don't
sense.
say retarded.
Why? We've said that about 400 million times
I
on
never
the show.
have. Maybe you have.
Yes, yeah, you have.
Go check the tapes.
I have all 80 episodes.
Okay.
Oh, we can't say retarded now?
I don't
Give me
think
a break.
we should.
Give me a break.
Okay.
All right, fine.
I gotta say, this Jake Lloyd, I mean, I don't even know what's going on here. I read an interview with George Lucas where George Lucas said he cast Jake Lloyd because he's good with machines, the way Anakin is.
Oh, sure.
Like,
Good
that translates to performing.
He's good with what? Fucking Legos and Tinker Toys?
Yeah.
You know, I wrote down they might as well have cast a baby as Darth Vader. Baby Vader with a fucking rattle.
That's all this movie is. It's Muppet Babies.
Yeah, it's Muppet Babies. Didn't do.
Hey, you ever want to
that's the
see
theme song.
Obi-Wan with a rat tail? You ever want to see Darth Vader as a little boy? Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah, it really is. It really
You even
is.
get to see little Palpatine before he had fucking black under his eyes.
Yeah, I don't know what they was doing there, but they broke it. Yeah. Yeah. We also learned that they can measure the Force with, which is I didn't know that. I didn't remember that. I didn't remember
Midichlorians. I've been making midichlorians references for years because it's one of my favorite parts of this movie. Yeah, so the Force in the first movie, it's supposed to be like God, right?
Pretty much, something like that.
But
yeah.
in this movie, you can measure the Force through little seeds inside your body that they call midichlorians. And this Jake Lloyd character has the most midichlorians of anyone, including Yoda. And so Qui-Gon decides he's going to train this kid to be a Jedi. So they have to take him off of Tatooine, rip him away from his mother, played by the uncharismatic Swedish actress who I'm not sure understood the lines she was delivering because she
Probably
didn't speak
not.
the language.
Probably not.
Inexplicably named Shmi Skywalker, like she's a Popeye villain.
Shmi. Shlomo. He was going to call her Shlomo.
No, that was the original name of Watto.
Right, but he had to change it to Watto, and then he got Shlomo, he got Shmi.
So for some reason, to get them off the planet, Anakin has to compete in this pod race, which is basically a NASCAR race in space. And
takes place on the racetrack called Oy Vey.
He's racing against this tarantula creature mixed with like a marsupial, named Sebulba, who's another terrible new character. We meet him when Jar Jar tries to eat a chicken, and it lands in Sebulba's soup or some bullshit.
Oh, man. This movie wore me out, dude. It wore me out.
Yeah, so he's racing. We get to see Sand People babies. We get to see Jabba the Hutt baby.
Yeah.
With a female Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Now, is Anakin's friend a young Greedo?
It sure looked like it. So maybe Darth Vader was friends with the eventual Greedo. It also made me wonder, this movie, R2-D2 and C-3PO, were their memories erased after Episode 3? Because...
Well, maybe. It's possible. They're robots. But
or they didn't follow
C-3PO,
Vader's career?
I do like the character design of C-3PO, just wires. Like, they haven't put the plating on yet. Mm-hmm. That's all right looking. But,
pandering.
Oh, it is absolute just fan service. That's all it is.
Roger. I had to fit that in there somewhere. I forgot.
Well, I have to fit in the fact that anytime this kid gets good news, he yelps yippee and runs out of the room. It happens like 3 times.
Yeah, he sure does.
Wait, you're training me
can't?
to be a Jedi? Yippee!
Have you had your midichlorian checked yet lately?
I'm low on midichlorian.
Mine was very low last time I went to the doctor. I'm going to have to retake that again.
I need to go to the midichlorian bank.
Yeah.
Get a midichlorian transfusion.
I got to donate some midichlorians if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, baby.
make some money.
And it's a bummer because I had plans today. I was gonna go down to the Hitachi station, pick up some power converters.
Can't do it, man.
Yeah.
Not till your chores are done.
God.
Finish your chores, you will. Yeah.
Oh, Yoda does show up. Hey, I've got something to say about this movie.
Oh, we forget. Yeah, go ahead.
After Jedi, I thought I was done with special editions.
Yeah, I don't know what was in and what was out, but you're right. I read that. Yeah.
I got a Blu-ray rip of Phantom Menace. I was excited
I watched
about
DVD,
it.
and I think there's differences.
There's one difference.
Yoda.
Now, Yoda was again a Frank Oz puppet in Phantom Menace, and then he becomes a CG creation in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. In my version of Phantom Menace that I just watched, he is CG.
Well, he fucking looked CG to me, and he wasn't, I guess, and you could have fooled me, because, I don't know, it was terrible looking. You get some Sam Jackson action in there.
He's good.
Some Action Jackson.
Yeah, Mace Windu. You know,
Carl Weathers would have been nice.
I know. Good point. I know his name is Mace Windu, but we don't know that if we watch just the movie, because this movie has a real problem identifying characters.
Yeah, that's true.
So, for instance, in the credits, Anakin's mom is Shmi Skywalker. Not that we ever hear anyone say that in the movie.
Shmi, we've got to go.
And this is another one. We never hear Mace Windu's name. That character is unestablished. I don't know if you noticed.
Windu Mace.
Yeah, no, you don't hear Shmi, you don't hear Mace Windu. I was getting confused if Palpatine was a senator or a chancellor, and then he's a fucking governor, and then he ends up being I'm like, what the fuck, man? Trade, taxation,
he's
governors.
also the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I know. What? We're not really told that either, are we?
Well, no, we're not. It's fucked up because, like, we're not told that, but we're supposed to assume because they're played by the same actor. And he's only credited as Palpatine, I think, in the credits. But he's also the Emperor or whatever. I don't know.
I didn't give a shit. It was so bad.
Here's something I forgot, Henry.
Yeah.
Can I?
Please.
Anakin.
I think we're being too kind.
Anakin Skywalker was birthed by Immaculate Conception.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
Darth Vader is Jesus?
What is going on? I didn't remember that either. And that just glossed over. Doesn't what does Qui-Gon say to her, like, who's the father? And she says something like, oh, there is no father. What?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he just like, oh, okay. Maybe that's something that happens, or maybe she was in vitro. I don't
think so. No, he seems weirded out by it, but he's like, must be all those midichlorians.
Yeah, maybe Yoda.
So are we to think that this kid has so many goddamn midichlorians that the Force just birthed him into existence? The Force just fucking popped this kid into Shmi's canal?
You know what I think?
What?
I think that before Shmi was sold into slavery to the Jew, Italian, Turkish man, I think Shmi visited Dagobah and Yoda fucked her.
Well, I don't think Yoda's been to Dagobah yet. Is Dagobah Yoda's
He's
home
from
planet? I didn't know
yeah.
that. Okay. I thought he just like retired there.
No, that was his Key West.
Yeah.
No,
West Palm Beach.
He's from the swampy Floridian marshes of Dagobah.
All right,
yes.
That makes sense. So are there a bunch of other Yoda-looking guys
Which
if we explore Dagobah?
I don't know. There could be a Yoda race of people, but that also explains, if he's from Florida, why they're having all these governmental problems with the Electoral College and taxation and trade in the galaxy.
I understand. The Phantom Menace is hanging chads.
Yeah. It's the Attorney General. They're having a lot of problems, all because of Dagobah couldn't fucking vote right.
Yeah, absentee ballots. It's a problem.
problem all over the galaxy.
Yeah.
That was George Lucas foreseeing the 2000 election.
Man.
He's a visionary.
He is. He's ever the visionary.
Always. Yep.
All right. So meanwhile, this gang is being chased by a fella named Darth Maul.
Yeah, what do you think of this guy?
He's awesome.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I forgot he spoke.
Only a couple times. And look, he's played by Ray Park, who is Toad from the X-Men. And he's just basically a stuntman. And so he does the physicality. He's got a double-sided lightsaber, which is kind of baller. But the voice of Darth Maul, he only has like 3 lines, is
Right.
Peter Serafinowicz.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's like a good actor, and I
yeah.
did not know that he
Yeah.
had anything. There are like a few rando people in this movie that I had no idea. Like, remember in the pod race, there's like a 2-headed color commentary
fucking
team.
Greg
It's
Proops.
Greg fucking Proops,
Oh
the
my
smartest
God.
man in the world.
Was that guy ever funny? Because I never found him funny.
He's great on podcast, Henry. That's his.
Oh,
medium.
really?
That's his medium.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Very funny. Listen, it's hard to be funny on whose line is it anyway.
Yeah, it sure is. I remember that being very jarring in the movie too.
Jar-jarring?
I was very jar-jarred in the theater by the race car announcers talking like NASCAR announcers.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, it's
I
all
thought
NASCAR.
I thought I was supposed to be in a different like universe. Yeah, I was very confused. It was just what a mess all around. So I'm sorry though. You were on a good tear there about Darth Maul. I was gonna say, I guess Lucas doesn't like any actor playing any character named Darth to do their own voice.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Darth Maul dies at the end of this movie, and Qui-Gon Jinn dies, and they're literally the only 2 characters I liked in this entire movie. So
Yeah.
I do not have much hope for enjoying the rest of this trilogy.
I have none. I mean, I quick. I don't know if it's a spoiler because we'll find out, but I remember seeing Attack of the Clones and hating it more. I don't know how that's possible. We'll find out.
I felt the same way at the time, but I remember really liking Revenge of the Sith. I remember when Revenge of the Sith first came out, my hot take was ranking the Star Wars movies, and that was 3rd place.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would put it ahead of Jedi.
I remember. I've seen it multiple times, I think. Not all the way through, though. But anyway. Did you just fall into a Gungan pit?
Drop my mic.
Sarlacc pit?
Yeah. A Gungan pit.
A Gungan pit. You know where Darth Maul got that samurai double-sided sword, right?
Hattori Hanzo?
From the trade embargo from the Naboo Guardian.
Sure.
Yeah. He ordered it with his miso soup.
So the film ends. There's a big. There's a multi-sided fight. Now, one of these sides is awesome, and that's the Duel of the Fates, which is just, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul in a lightsaber fight. I'm into it. But let's get to that later, because first we should talk about Jar Jar saving the day in this Gungan battle against these battle droids by doing everything wrong. He just keeps slipping and falling, but then things go right.
These are no good. Yeah.
It's garbage. And meanwhile, Anakin, little boy, Qui-Gon tells him to stay in the cockpit, but this kid's incorrigible. So he's like, I will stay in the cockpit, and then he flies the fucking plane out into outer space. And, they're chasing him, and he doesn't really know how to fly, but somehow he's, like, owning this battle. One of my favorite lines in the movie, I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know why he can't probably fly?
Why?
Because he's 4.
He's 8. But No,
He's fucking 3 years old.
he's an idiot. He's just messing with the controls. I mean, I guess he has R2 there to help for no reason.
As always.
And, he's shooting lasers at these fucking... I don't even know. It's battle droids.
I didn't know what was happening. When that ship went down
Battle
at the end...
droids talk like this.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
What was... Yeah, I don't... Oh, my God. What else do I got on this? Well, so what is it? You even get... I mean, I know they call it this, okay? It's the only original piece of music Williams composed for the movie.
Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, the dun 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 dun. So that has... Like, right. Well, you do that part. I'll do the cello. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
I gotta stop. Listen, I remember there was a
your midi Claridian soprano there. I like that.
There was a music video to that song that totally debuted on Total Request Live, bro.
Carson Daly?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Whew. That was a really good a cappella rendition.
Thank you.
Well, no, I mean, thank us.
Yeah. All right, so...
Yeah, and Ewan McGregor...
What do you think? What do you think of the song?
It's fine.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's all right. It's that whole sequence is pretty good. I mean, Ewan McGregor keeps getting stopped by electronic doors.
I don't even know what's going on with those electronic
doors. Very odd.
I've never understood that.
He can't use the Force to get through that. I mean, they're trying to clearly mimic Luke watching Kenobi die.
I think it's like in a video game, like when doors are opening and closing, you have to get through that thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Force is weak with these ones. I will say that. They can't figure out a lot of shit. I mean, they can't fix their plane. They got to get this Rastafarian dope smoker to help them get underwater. They can't even hold their breath as Jedi. They got to have these like little bat.
That was kind of... Yeah.
When Batman has to go underwater in the comics, he has that little breath,
Yeah.
They got to use those. They can't foresee anything. I mean, I don't know, man. Not the best Jedis. Obi-Wan has a lot of growing to do. Let's just say that. Qui-Gon...
Yeah, he doesn't even have his beard yet.
Can't grow a beard.
But he will very soon.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen.
He's his beard?
Yeah.
Does he have a beard in the next one, McGregor? No. That beard doesn't show up till, like, Sith, right?
I think he might have a beard in Clones.
No, I don't know.
So he agrees to teach fucking what's-his-face, Anakin, and Yoda has grave reservations about this, but ultimately the council agrees. This is the whole bit that people make fun of all the time, where, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering.
A lot of, yeah.
Yeah.
If him and the Emperor and Darth Vader as an adult got together and had a conversation, it would be like 3 people in the room with dementia. You wouldn't know what the fuck is being said. You wouldn't catch a word. Yeah.
So, and then it ends with a pale imitation of the medal ceremony from A New Hope.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was bad.
Jar Jar gets a medal. And he gets to fall down one more time.
Shouldn't Jar Jar just get like a participation medal? That's what he deserves, when the last kid in the class type of thing.
Is Jar Jar a millennial?
I don't know how Gungan's age. He could be a year old or 48,000 years old. Who knows?
It's a good point. You never know in these movies. All right. What do you give it?
1 fucking star.
Me too.
It's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to. I thought I would go 2 or maybe
Me
even...
too. Me too.
Yeah,
I thought I might be giving this thing a 3. This sucks.
Really sucks. It really sucks.
So slow your roll with these fucking hot takes.
Yeah.
If Last Jedi is worse than Phantom Menace, then it is a piece of garbage.
Like through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't revealed fully my feelings on The Force Awakens, but even at that time, I didn't think anything near this at all. You know, if anything, I was lukewarm. I mean, but come on.
Luke Skywalker warm?
Yeah, good one. That's your second pun on a character's name. It's very good. I like it.
Thank you.
It's good.
My second pungan.
Oh, they did bring back a bad... Good. They brought back the bad feeling line. That came back.
Oh, I noticed that, actually.
Yeah,
Obi-Wan
says it.
Yeah.
That was good.
Callback. Okay.
Oh,
here's
yeah.
MVP Liam Neeson.
MVP R2D2.
Okay.
Clear and above. Yep.
Okay.
Easy for me. That was easy.
Because he's still R2D. You can't
He's
fuck
still
up
great.
R2D2.
R2D2's
You can't
great.
fuck him up.
You can't fuck him up. Even George Lucas can't fuck that up.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, wait, I shouldn't say that. I think he loses his gravitational pull in the next couple of movies, and he's fucking flying around like a rocket. So
I think you're right.
if I recall correctly, I was not too happy with that.
Yeah.
addition.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
LVP is Jar Jar.
It's Jar Jar, it's the kid, and it's George fucking Lucas, man.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
I liked the pod race. Okay.
Okay.
That's it for this week, man.